Hey Pisces family, welcome to my channel. It's Romy here. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you so much. This is your June monthly tarot card reading. So if you have a Pisces sun, rising or moon, it is a general reading, but it might resonate for you. If it does, please make sure you're subscribed and go ahead and drop me a like and a comment. And if you want to join me for the extended version of the reading, then you'll find the link for that in the description box underneath the video, or by heading over directly to my website, romywyser.com. Pisces, let's take a look, see what the cards are bringing up for you in June. So June's energy, Pisces, is coming in waves, right? We're working with 4 planets retrograde right now, and it's soon to be 6. So Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter and Venus. And then on the 18th, Mercury is going to go retrograde in Cancer, and on the 23rd, Neptune retrograde in your sign of Pisces. Now Mars is in your sign all the way through to the 28th this month. We also have 2 eclipses taking place. There's just a lot of shift and change and kind of that ground beneath our feet, not feeling so firm and grounded, but also inviting us to really be reflective and allow the energy to kind of move us into something new. You know, that's what these eclipses are going to do. Sagittarius lunar eclipse on the 5th, and then followed by a solstice and solar eclipse in the sign of Cancer on the 21st. So the opportunity to rebalance something. I open up your reading with a card of the Well. So this particular deck, the author has included 2 additional cards for the major arcana, and the Well is created to reflect the energy of Gaia, of Mother Earth. And I love that the Well also is this beautiful nod to the water energy. So this is a nice way to open up your reading, Pisces, because I think as we move through Gemini season and you're kind of working with that 4th house energy, very reflective, thinking about that kind of inner self, you know, your home, your roots, you know, it's very moon energy. So there's just a lot of contemplation taking place, you know. Things are going deep for you as we move into the beginning part of this month. And I guess energetically, you're probably sensing and feeling where the shifts are going to be taking place. Now, you know, particularly with the emphasis of Venus and then Mercury moving retrograde, you know, relationships, connections, there being things coming back from the past to review, to, you know, to have some sense of assessment about is going to be strong in your mindset. And, you know, sometimes that eclipse can also bring about the unexpected, okay? But what I feel we've got here, you can see that she's actually holding like a pendulum here. So there's almost this quality of divination where you're kind of reading the energy, you're reading the landscape, you're looking out toward the horizon. So even though there's, you know, kind of some swirling energy going on around you, you feel quite calm and quite composed, but also quite alert. And I think that's quite interesting. So I think you are being alerted to something. I think information is going to come through psychically, intuitively, or make its way towards you just at the time that you need to hear it, Pisces. I think that's going to be important because this is also a time of like making bigger decisions, right? And when we hit that Sagittarius lunar eclipse, partial lunar eclipse on the 5th of June. It's got some interesting kind of opposing energies with Venus and Mars, but it's in your 10th house, so it's about how you show up. It's about you thinking about the long-term planning, your career, your reputation, and perhaps there's information that you need to share or that needs to be shared with you that has a bearing on that. So we have Page of Wands coming in, messages and information again making its way, traveling towards you, Pisces, okay? It could be a fire sign, a Sagittarius, Leo or Aries that is also influencing something that is on your mind or in your heart at the moment. If that is the case, then I do see you receiving communication. You are, interestingly, if we look at the positioning of that, looking forward, okay? So even though that message it's kind of coming up behind you, but you're aware of it. I don't know, so it's almost like I just think you're going to get a heads up that it's coming, all right? Now with the pages, we're invited to be open, You know, we're invited to be curious. It's not necessarily something that's been fully formed yet. It's not necessarily representative of somebody who's bringing everything that you want to the table, but it's certainly the beginning or the opening up of something, yeah? But I also think you're having to trust your instincts a little bit here, perhaps read between the lines somewhat to get a truer reflection or a truer picture of actually what's being given and what's being offered to you, okay? And remember this kind of alert expression that she has on her face about looking forward. You're paying attention because it matters. So whatever this information is that's coming, the messages or the news and who it's coming from is going to have influence and bearing, perhaps around your security, right? We've got King of Pentacles coming in here. Could be a Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn as well that you're dealing with. But that information is important because it's going to make a difference as to how secure you feel. Remember in 4th house energy, how secure you feel on the internal, but also then having an absolutely marked reflection on your external environment in terms of finances, stability, the level of abundance, and just really how good and ready you feel to kind of move forward. So I think what you're looking for is to see something tangible here, to see something real. But we're not necessarily getting that all straight away. So you're going to have to kind of piece together some of that in order to come to a conclusion that is going to be right for you as to whether you've got the green light here. Now remember, in retrograde season, in this deep time of soul review, of coming home to the self, with everything that you've already learned this year, right? Because that's what we're doing as we take a backspin with these planets. It's like, you know, how has my energetic integrity, how is my heart consciousness, how have all these themes that I've been working with now applying to the situation that I now found myself in? And, you know, as we move out of this kind of more difficult, challenging experience of lockdown and sort of move back into the world and figure out how that's going to work for us, it is really important that you are not only working intellectually but also intuitively to make sure that you're heading off in the right direction. So 2 of Wands here, again, it's kind of like a similar vibe here. You're kind of peering over the ledge. You're looking out over something, waiting. There's like an expectancy here. But there's also a planning and a prioritization. So what I'm going to say is that whilst you may be waiting for something to come to fruition, waiting for information that you need in order to make a firm decision, you can still at this time work on your own plans. Take the opportunity to advance in the areas that you do have control over. That's going to be really important because you're kind of setting an agenda with an energy that's much more positive and favourable, and then making sure that then whatever comes in kind of has to match and meet that on a frequency, yeah? And as we move into Cancer season, it's all about heart energy for you. It's 5th house, so this is visionary. This is about you being curious, about being open with your self-expression, ready to say what you want, ready to say how you feel, looking to be lit up, looking for that desire, that passion, that romance of life, you know, in your relationships. And actually, as we hit the moment where Venus then finally moves direct on the 25th, it's then giving you a place to say, okay, now we can have those really important conversations. So, you know, the 2 of Wands is that sort of moment for me where, you know, we're still not quite working into the energy of what comes next, but you're getting a very good indication of what's coming, okay? Work with that, use that to your advantage at this time, Pisces. Maybe it's because you're seeing a trend ahead of time. Maybe you're starting to see where something's going to play out so that you can move yourself away from it if it doesn't feel good, or towards it if you're feeling like this is where the energy is kind of coalescing and I feel like this is where I need to be, this is where I need to show up. I think you're just going to be really on tune with that. Remember, Mars in your sign is helping you to kind of think about the way that you want to direct that energy. And here we have card of Temperance, so again, could be a Sagittarius, you know, another fire energy showing up here, but just about the adjustments that you're making, you know, things coming in moderation for you. This is not about a time of excess. You know, in many ways you might find it's a time where you're wanting to strip back things. You're wanting to get back to the root of something, to where it all began, to where it felt really good to you. You know, maybe you have to return home to self to rediscover the passion, to rediscover the childlike kind of energy towards someone or something, you know, and that energy of temperance is helping you to do that. It's very healing. She's coming in with these beautiful golden wings right now, very protective around you. It can be a bit frustrating, I think, if we want to get going and then we have that kind of an energy that's saying, okay, a little bit, but not too much. And I guess that's a little bit, you know, reflective of what's happening in the wider collective and community, as, you know, we're given, you know, one set of rules and then the next phase and the next phase. And so there might be a little bit of frustration energy, particularly around that Sagittarius eclipse, where the oppositions with the moon to Mars and Venus squaring to Mars just bring out kind of, I don't know, some agitation or some harsh words, I think, in particular situations. But again, temperance is bringing in some nice healing and some soul soothing energy with which you can work with, okay? I think what it's saying here as well is that lighten up on yourself a little bit, Pisces. Yeah, lighten up on you. You don't need to have everything, all your shit together again. You don't need to bounce back so quickly. You don't need to be geared up and ready to go. And you might feel that, you know, you may feel like I have no choice. You know, I'm the one that has to drive this forward right now. But, you know, yes, we have you alert. Yes, we have you planning and prioritizing, but you've not got all the information yet. And if you jump too soon, you know, I just think you're going to make it harder for yourself in some regards. So we want you to work with the energy. And actually, there's some positivity that is making its way towards you here that I think is going to really offer up kind of the opportunity to take a further leap forward than you might have expected if you can just give it a little bit more of a timing to settle, you know, to come forth. So, Queen of Swords could be an air energy, a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. Of course, in Gemini season, we're figuring out how to navigate this very mutable, at times very scattered energy. For you, it's very reflective as you think about how it impacts on the home and much closer to the self, how you nurture and take care of the things that are important, and, you know, where property is very much on your mind. But here, Queen of Swords is about your need to kind of get clear and cut through the white noise, you know, and in a hazy retrograde season with eclipse energies, very confusing, very uncertain, you know, lots of truths coming up to the surface. And, you know, if you're not careful, it could really kind of knock you off center and pull you out of any sort of peace that you've been able to establish for yourself. Where here I have the Queen of Swords that's inviting you to assert some strong boundaries so that that doesn't happen, or that certainly you can find your balance within it, but also to be very curious and looking at the information that's being presented and making sense of it so that you can form a new strategy and a new plan, knowing what you now know. Yeah, the Two of Wands and the Queen of Swords for me are master planners here. You know, they're going to help you kind of really make sense of something on an intellectual level. And I think probably with the awakening that, you know, inevitably takes place in eclipse season, that's going to be really important so that you get to the truth of the matter as to what is going on with a person, with a situation, with a change that's happened within yourself, and what that now might mean for you in terms of what you want to do moving forward. But she's here as this sort of guide for you that's just going to clear the haze, clear the fog, and help you to make sense of things. Now, you maybe need that. You know, it can be a tendency to move and feel quite at ease in all of that water energy, Pisces, particularly for you. But this is also a month when it is important that we kind of take accountability, take control, and really look at where we are being invited to evolve and to change, you know. So I also see her coming in as a little bit of a taskmaster in some regards to any areas that you have found it difficult to make progress or headway, you know. So you're probably going to need her strong, assertive, discerning, anchored energy with some of the things that may play out around you or within you through this month of June. Hierophant coming through could be a Taurus energy that you're dealing with, but again, we've got this beautiful invitation to I want to say recommit. Now I say recommit because we're in retrograde, so this is not necessarily a new commitment, it's something that we want to return and revisit. Now in Cancer, with all that invitation to connect to the heart energy, this is something that matters. This is something that's important to you, or someone that's important to you. You know, this could be returning to you know, the mentor or the guru that's really made a difference in your life, and you need that kind of an energy again. You know, you're looking for that guidance once more. It could be returning back into the marriage and really looking at it from a new perspective and seeing how you can plan to make things better moving forward, or indeed make the choice and the decision that, you know, now you need something different, you need something else. You know, Venus retrograde is really renowned for either making or breaking those relationships, giving us a chance to take it to the next level, or really highlighting with an eclipse energy to absolutely change, you know, the entire course of things, you know. So I see you being able to trust within your own inner guru with that Hierophant. I see you making some commitments to self that are really going to be important in terms of what you want to accomplish through June. Cognizant of the fact that there are lots of changeable energies right now, and that you're going to have to be very adaptable, but you know, that's your forte. You can swim in multiple directions and still get things done. And also invite yourself to really revisit your values and your beliefs right now and see how they've changed, you know, see what they're looking for. If you are really seeking commitment from someone or something, if you are looking for that to come together, remember what I said, there is something concrete, but it's not quite fully actualized or realized yet. You know, I just think that they're not quite on board. You know, we're not absolutely kind of heading in the same direction quite yet, but you are getting an indication of something, okay? There may well be discussions about how it could work, how it might work, you know, whether this is personally or professionally. So keep an open mind with this, and remember that card of Temperance is going to help you soothe any agitation or frustration. So this is the second card that the author put in this deck. So you've got them both coming up in your reading, which is kind of interesting today. And I like this because actually for me, they're very innovative. They're very unique. It sets it apart. It's different. And I think that's what you're bringing into this month, Pisces. You know, not only for you, but to other people as well. You are bringing something different to the table. You're bringing a new idea. You're bringing a different energy, and I think that's needed. You know, there's this sort of really lovely visionary quality that I have going on for you. But this card of the Arise actually links into what some talk about as being the 13th zodiac sign. For me right now, the way that I'm reading it, again, it's about the planning. It's about you making plans for the future, looking at what you want to achieve, what you want to create. Not just castles in the air, but actually something that's sustainable, yeah? That's about what can not only support you, but future generations. So I think you're really looking at legacy. That makes sense with the 10th house in that lunar eclipse, doesn't it? Because that's about how you want to leave that legacy. So it's like, how do you want this relationship to impact not only now, but, you know, to children, to people who will be influenced by it? How do you want your work to be received? How do you want that to land in terms of anything that you're looking to launch? Beautiful little winged kind of feather on the ankle here. Again, just bringing in this link of the beautiful angelic divine guidance and the divination, you know, here. So there's lots of messages that are coming forward that I think you're going to be synthesizing and working with and trying to figure out, where does this fit? You know, what do I do with it? How do I make sense of it? Queen of Swords is about taking your experience. Like, she's incredibly wise, the Queen of Swords, right? She can work with all of the layers and the numerous ideas, and, you know, absolutely adept in that elemental air energy to say, you know, I can figure out a new strategy, and I can pull together all of the threads, and, you know, she can just cut through everything to get to the real heart of the matter. So that beautiful creativity that is already naturally yours, Pisces, but also with a little bit of discernment and focus from that Queen of Swords, can really create something quite beautiful for you this month if you choose to put your attention and time towards it. Remember, the magic is in actually doing the work, not just the planning and the strategizing of it. You'll know the right time of when it's here. But, you know, again, King of Pentacles talks about, I'm successful I've drawn this abundance and these levels of emotional and financial fiscal security towards me because I've put in the work. So that's available to you, and I see you thinking about something in a completely new way, and understanding that actually if you start now, if you begin now, not too long in the distant future, you can have something really wonderfully tangible and meaningful that can grow into something that is not only going to sustain and deliver you what you are looking for from an abundance perspective, whether that's more vitality, more health, more money, more love. It's about giving you that alignment as well, and having brought you back into something within yourself that says, this is what lights me up, this is the direction I want to go in, this is where I want to move towards. I see new friendships and connections being formed here. I see some sort of invitation for an offer or a change, a fresh beginning somewhere. But again, it's right at the start, okay? Don't expect too much too soon, right? But know that everything that you do this month, the way that you approach things, the way that you start to plan stuff is really going to make a difference, okay? And this is the time to learn, like, what didn't work before. Yeah, be discerning. Use that Queen of Swords energy to say, if it didn't work, why would I want to kind of bring all of that energy back around again? Venus retrograde is going to make you think, as is a lot of these retrograde energies, that you are not as far on as you are. Don't be tricked into the illusion of it all, okay? You have made meaningful progress. You do know what you want, or you're certainly going to start to make steps to be much clearer about that. So be alert to the energy that's running rampant and running wild, but also don't lose that grounded, earthy energy that's going to keep you focused on the task at hand. That's what's going to matter this month, okay? There may be lots of things that are playing out around you this month, Pisces, I just have a kind of feeling of a lot of frenzy that seems to be kind of on the outskirts or the periphery. But you just keep focused toward the future. That's what matters. I see you kind of looking down and sort of almost thinking, my goodness, I don't want to get involved there. I don't want to go in that direction. That's not for me. But even in understanding what is happening, it's going to help give you some reflection on what kind of a thing you do want, what energy you do want to align with. So your oracle card is bringing through heat. I think that's because the passion is ignited. For some of you, relationships are set to feel very intense. Emotions will run high. You will discover or rediscover feelings towards someone or something, or them to you. You will also feel perhaps challenged in a particular situation to be further on than you are, or to get something together or pull it together, and actually maybe feeling that it just feels a little bit too much right now. I see you sort of almost like holding the back of your head here in a little bit of a protective mode, trying to kind of keep something at bay, or just to say, I'm not quite ready to deal with that yet. And sometimes the energies of eclipses just don't really give us that opportunity. They just say, no, now's the time. Now's the time. You're absolutely going to face this and deal with this. But look, these are angel wings here, So again, whatever that heat is that's coming in, you can more than deal with it. But in Cancer season and 5th house, as we want to explore what desire means to us, as we want to find the people and the things in our life that really speak to us at a deep soul level, that's what you're also going to be working towards as we kind of navigate our way through June, right? Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Okay, well, we're working with a full moon eclipse energy, so something really interesting coming in around that Sagittarius. And again, we're seeing all of the oranges and the reds that link into fire, and of course Sagittarius is linked to the element of fire. So I think there's going to be something really interesting that is revealed or comes to a head, or an epiphany, an awakening that you have around that time. So pay close attention to the energy leading up to the days before and the days after. But of course, eclipse energies, remember, can kind of span out over the next you know, 3 months as we work with that to integrate it and make sense of what it now means to us in our world. But look, we're coming to a point of conclusion where, like we said, you're receiving the indication of news, okay? So you're going to be in a much stronger position to know where you stand. And I think that's going to be important for many of you. You need to know where you stand with something this month, okay? I hope that has helped, Pisces. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do so you don't miss any future updates. And drop me a like and a comment if it has resonated. I'm going to go ahead and pull us some cards for the extended reading. Extended reading is another 20 minutes or so. We go into more details about this particular spread and see what else we can unearth. Now, this is a general reading, but if you have a specific question I've not covered, have a think about that right now. And I'm going to pull us a couple of cards. We'll cover them in the extended reading. You can find that in the link for it in the description box underneath this video. Just click on the downward arrow, or you can head over to romywyser.com. Okay, so these are the cards for your specific question. I'm just going to go ahead and clarify this main spread for us now. So let's look at this card of the Well. This is the Ethereal Visions deck for those of you who are interested. Okay, so we have the Emperor card coming up here. Could be a cardinal energy as well, a Capricorn or Aries that you might be dealing with. Six of Wands here. Okay, another Queen of Swords. So it could be a Libra energy showing up as well, in addition to how we want to work and be guided by that energy from her or him. Okay, Page of Wands is bringing up the King of Wands. So again, it's this fire sign or somebody who's certainly very enthusiastic, very passionate, very keen to want to get in front of you, to speak to you, to talk to you. There's some uncertainty, some confusion. Is something really grounded in the way that it needs to be? I don't think quite yet, you know. Very unexpected though. Ruled by Jupiter, the Wheel of Fortune. Of course, Jupiter is now retrograde at the moment in the sign of Capricorn. Okay, let's look at this King of Pentacles. Okay, we have Knight of Cups coming in and the Six of Swords. So possibly a romantic quality to this as well, but offers a way forward. High Priestess. A need for you to really trust your own counsel at the moment though. And I guess all these plans, okay, 2 Wands clarified with the 2 Wands again. All these plans not yet being fully revealed. So either you're not ready to share or someone else isn't quite ready to share with you. But that's really what we need. But remember, conclusions coming in. Okay, Temperance, 8, 10. Hierophant showing up again. That Queen of Swords is seriously delivering some truth-telling for you this month, however she's showing up. Might be kind of tough to hear as well, I want to say, but necessary. Lot of 4 energy coming up for you in this reading. There's Libra again, also card of Justice. Remember, it's not the best time for signing anything legal during retrograde season. Card of the Chariot coming up here just to give us some forward motion, and the Magician. Love that energy for you. Okay, finally on your Oracle cards, so we have 3 of Swords here. And the 3 of Wands. Okay, Pisces, if you'd like to join me, I look forward to continuing this reading with you. Otherwise, wishing you bright blessings. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I'll speak to you again real soon. Take care.